back to Turnin Hip Hop. We're about to do a special segment. This point of view. What we're gonna do: Kanye West's Yeezus versus J. Cole Born Sinner. Fellas, how do y'all think of what are y'all ratings on the album? How do you feel about both albums? Which album was the better album?
The most interesting thing about this to me is J. Cole actually pushed his date to match Kanye West's date. So they actually, went head to head.
And I commend that. I think that was a big move.
In the rap game, I agree with B because a lot of rappers now think are way too sensitive, and they've got away from what rap really is, which is competitive.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like, you need to be competitive, and you have to know really kind of where you stand. Now, obviously, I'll go into the week sales. Obviously, both release dates was June 18, 2013. J. Cole's first week sales came in at 297,000, and Kanye West's album came in at 328,000.
Right.
Now, obviously, Kanye West won the first week sales. Some people actually thought that J. Cole could probably win. I never thought that he could, just because Kanye West's fan base is just way too deep.
Yes. I just realized how close in nature those two album title names were. When you just said that, they both are like religious in nature.
There you go. Yeezus Born Sinner. Yeah.
Right,
I didn't even think about that.
That's aside from what we're talking about, but I just thought that was interesting. Me personally, I felt like Kanye had the better album. I think J. Cole album was above par. I think it was much better than his last one. But J. Cole is like a rapper that can be replaced almost. Like not to say that he's average, but Kanye, if you were to take Kanye out the rap game, like he's going to be like, it's going to feel different. I feel like he's one of them rappers that he has a spot in the game. He's pushing boundaries. Nobody's doing what he's doing. And J. Cole's a rapper. If he just stopped rapping today, you can listen to a Big Sean, or you can listen to a Lil Wayne. I mean, just somebody like that. But Kanye, there's nobody you can really get the same feel from if you were to try to replace Kanye with somebody in the rap game.
I disagree. Kanye West. I like Kanye West. I like some of Kanye West style. I think he had me with the graduation days. I mean, that's when we got the hardest of the Kanye West. I think a little bit. I think he with the paparazzi and the Kim Kardashian thing. I think he's going a little nuts right now.
But time out. You can't compare his music to what's going on in his personal life now.
Well, no, actually, no, I can't. But at the same time, I mean, sometimes that does play a part of what comes out of you also, though. Because he did some of this music at them Paris. I
get that. I just don't think his music compares to what's going on in his personal.
Right.
I just can't see how the two relate. Like, hands down, I just want to first say that I'm not a Kanye West fan by far. Not even since the graduation days. So that's what I want to be known first and foremost. And I definitely was impressed with this album, and I would definitely say that his album is better than J. Cole, just because of the simple fact that J. Cole doesn't really have the versatility enough for me to separate and say, like what B was saying, that I'm gonna miss something. Like, just about everything that he did in his album is a way better album than his first one, hands down. Now that I give him credit for. He beat the sophomore jinx.
Right.
But as far as like, I just listened to his album and was just super impressed. No, I could never say that. Now as far as with Kanye West, yes, I can say that because he's pushing boundaries. There's been a lot of debate on some people saying it's trash, some people saying they like it, some people saying that they're not saying that about J. Cole album.
But one thing about the Kanye West, that's one thing, you just made a clear point. You said you wasn't down with him for the graduation days.
No. I'm saying I listened to him,
okay.
But what I'm saying is I can see his growth. I can see he's the type of artist that can push. Like, I'm just saying I wasn't no fan though.
Because actually the graduation days, I put those in a line of being classics for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a hip hop. I'm personally basically I love hip hop. So those albums right there, they basically right here. He took a challenge on this album, which a lot of like the beginning of the album, I definitely didn't like. I did not like Kanye West's beginning of his album.
On Sight.
I don't like that song.
See,
It's a couple songs that got me, but like later in the album, like Blood on the Leaves and Bound to, and I'm a God, them kind of gave me the old Kanye West. So that them right there that gave me Kanye West. That's what I like. That's what, like, if he did a couple of more tracks like that, then I probably would have, like, hands down he beat J. Cole. But I just did not get this out of this album.
Mm-hmm. I think Kanye West album made some people uncomfortable. I feel like, you know, he was kind of, you know, going against the grain with a lot of his subject matter. I mean, I agree. I don't think this is not my favorite Kanye West album, but I did enjoy this album, and I do think it is a better album than J. Cole's. J. Cole, I mean, he had some standout cuts on there. You know, that Let Nas Down was a track that stood out to me. The song with 50 Cent, New York Times.
And I love that track.
Yeah, Runaway was another good one. So I mean, I give J. Cole his props. I mean, he put together a hell of an album. But Kanye West, he just took it to that next level for me. You know, I'm always looking to see that the music genre go forward, and he's pushing that.
And I think that's the thing with me is I give him more props for actually trying. Like, I get what you're saying, but a lot of times we have to realize that music evolves and music changes. So you're used to some of the songs, like Bound to was to me a typical song. Don't get me wrong, a good song from him. I like Bound to, but it's a typical song that Kanye would have done.
Right.
On Sight was not a typical song that he really would have done. And when you look at rappers who are actually considered to be legendary and that's great, you're gonna start to find that they will take chances like that.
Right.
When you look at Jay-Z and doing 99 Problems, that wasn't a typical track that everybody, you know, would say, oh, that's the J, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's a song that made headlines. It's also a song that sparked that debate on whether it was good or not, and it pushed the boundary just to go into a different era, and that's what kind of separate someone who's gonna be legendary and someone who's probably just average. And keep in mind that J. Cole is someone who they're considering to be the heir apparent to Jay-Z, and he shows no signs of that. That's what I'm saying.
All right. Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. Actually, I give J. Cole a lot more credit than you give him because of some fact that he produced like 90% of this album, and a lot of these tracks was good. Like he said about Nas, like Let Nas Down, that's classic to me. You know what I'm saying? For us, what? So think about some of the stuff we have been reviewing. This album is like This album is like a real high plateau of some of these albums that we listen to, and like you said, he versing actually J. Cole going against a champion. Kanye West been in the game for a minute. Kanye West is actually like he said, he done built the game up, and this man just his second album, and he's trying to compete with this man. You got to give this man props that he even going in that kind of lane right now.
I give him the props, you know, and you know, he spoke about him producing his own album. You know, Kanye West, I'm sure he produced his album. You know, he had a lot of help as well because you know he got connections. But you know, Kanye, he's known for production, so that's not really gonna separate J. Cole. You know, just like when Spade was saying, you know, what we're used to, J. Cole is something that we're used to. When you're uncomfortable, that's when greatness is formed. I mean, anytime people are outside their comfort zone, like when you're lifting weights, if you're lifting weights and you're comfortable, you're not going to grow. But once it becomes uncomfortable and it starts to burn you and you want to stop doing it, that's when you grow. Like, that's when your muscles grow. So that's how I feel the same way about the music, you know, when it's pushing that boundary where it's making everybody uncomfortable. You know, when people got these polarizing opinions, you know, some people love it, some people hate it, you know. It's out there for debate, and Kanye's West album created that debate. And you know, I think he's taking it to that next level. But you know, I respect your opinion on J. Cole because he's a talented artist.
Yeah, and I'm not knocking J. Cole for what he's doing. I'm just saying that we're debating the albums, and they both came out, and it's good for rap.
Right.
But it's just one stands out more than the other. And I'm just gonna say, as far as stand out, Kanye West actually stood out the most. I did like songs on J. Cole's. You had Runaway. That actually, I could actually relate to that track. Power Trip actually was a good single for him. You know what I'm saying? It's real catchy.
That's great.
Forbidden Fruit, where he actually used the exact same sample as A Tribe Called Quest, and actually had Kendrick Lamar on that hook. Like, he has things that on there that are actually good, and he's way above other rappers. So don't get me wrong, I'm not taking nothing away, but at this particular time, I'm doing him versus Kanye. And in this particular case, it's just Kanye edged him.
You say Kanye, I say J. Cole, Born Sinner, because I listen to the whole. I can listen to the whole album. He only had like 10 tracks on his album. Like this, I like this whole album from 1 through 8, and it stopped on one track. I think it was no nigga or something. And then after that it picked back up for me. So I say J. Cole. What you say?
I'm rocking with Kanye West on this one.
Okay. So that was our review. That was the end of how we felt. So actually, 2 out of 1. That's Kanye got this win. That was the better album. And that is Turning You Hip Hop. If you want to find us, you reach me on Twitter at basepolo357.
And you can always reach me at Spade51 Twitter.
And I'm at BRich0331.
And that's Turning You Hip Hop.
Peace.